God also said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of the people will come from her." Abraham fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, "Will a son be bare to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a children at the age of 90? And Abraham said to God, "If only Ishmael might live under your blessing." Here it's interestingly, God changed Sarah's name to Sarai. Add H to her name. Same thing, add H to Abraham's name. Why? I talked at the very far beginning. For those people, they are that age, right? I think like if you change their name, basically it's a symbol. It indicates they are a new person, a new human being. So they were not under the agreement between the heavens, fallen angel, and earth. So kind of like, I believe God tried to play the worldly game. He basically made Abraham out of the system. Abraham, so it's different people, right? And also Sarah became Sarai. When you need to call her Sarah. So same thing, your identity is not only defined by you. Your identity is defined by people call you, people recognize you, people memorize you. So you have many coordinate system decide your position in the whole system. So at this moment, Sarah is very simple, just a family woman, right? And most important to Abraham. So when Abraham called her Sarah, so she's like a new one, kind of like a new one. So at least in document, she's a new person. Also, another thing is it's to bear children. Women right now, like we know, like when you have 50 or around the 50, right? You went into menopause, so you don't have children. You're enabled to have children, but that's just human. What if like God, He can stimulate your oval, you still able to bear children. So I think it's total different knowledge level things. So when God said if He can make your children, it's possible when you're even 120 years old. I think I heard some news back years ago in Caucasian, in the mountain, a older grandpa, like 91 years old, 99, and his wife is like 80 something, 78 or 80. They got a children. Yeah, it's still possible. Do you note also in here? Do you notice Abraham? He can laugh in front of God. One people say, "Oh, it's happy, right? It's a happy laugh." But you think about it, when you face down means like, well, you are the Lord, you are like master. I'm show respect. I'm scared or whatever. I'm face down. I don't want to show my obedience. But he still laugh, right? That kind of life could be what? Could be like a disagreement, mocking, or feel funny, and he used the word, "Wow, will a son be to be born a man 100 years old?" Oh, it's kind of like when he is kind of continue repeating the age, the impossibility, the laugh. It's not necessarily happy. It's just like it's ridiculous. It's like the God, how could you give such like a promise? It was funny, so funny. That's believe that's in his mind, but people find the different ways to explain the laugh. But anyway, but for Abraham, at this moment, he's more favor his son Ishmael. Yeah, another children born in his family. It's called what's the name? Elijah, Eliezer of the Damascus. I think it's more like a more lower position, the lower slave or lower trust, the lower outside the circle of it. But from like some legally, if before Ishmael, this one will be inherited everything. But when Ishmael comes, right, and even Ishmael right now only like 13 something, still like he will be more like a favor this kid. So he say, well, it's only Ishmael might live under your blessing. So he's kind of like the last retrievement, last I should say request. Okay, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Let Ishmael under your blessing. That's Abraham. So think about it. Abraham, he can question God. He can laugh in front of God. He's a. So what do you think? He's a face, the God of the face. I think like people just total twist. He's not God of the face. And well, what should I say? Like the face. Face, I already said at the very far beginning, has 4 different stages. One is just like when you are children, you have the phase of what? Oxygen. You need your oxygen. You breathe in, breathe out. You don't know anything about. Just believe it. Then after you understand a little more, you know we need the oxygen. So you say, okay, because the air has oxygen, so I believe it. We need air, right? The third thing is when you get a waterboarding, when you get punished, when you get some kind of torturing in the water, when you're drowned without oxygen, without air, you suddenly get so saved, and you take a big gulp of air, you feel sweet, you say, oh my, it's air, I totally believe I need the air to survive. That one will be deeply memory in your muscle. You pass down to next generation. Don't touch fire, you need air, whatever, those things. But actually right now, as long as you find the true knowledge of air, you find out we just need oxygen, right? So you in those diver, they can have a mask. You can breathe in the water. You don't need air, but they will filter those oxygen to your lung. You still can survive. That's I already see like a long time ago they developed those new device. So the face, what I'm trying to say is, face don't just blindly hold the face. We need to like understand the face, understand who is the God, the Jehovah, who is the real Jehovah. Maybe the name itself is just a pronoun, maybe it indicates something else. But at least at this point is try to chase God, seeking true God, instead of just, okay, God, I'm taking 100%. Well, sometimes children are very happy, very blessed because they don't need to doubt. But I'm the kind of a people with a big doubt. Hopefully I can get, or you seem like you can, hopefully you can get the like find some kind of truth through your big doubt, through seeking. Yeah, in here, God talk about the 2 things. One is talk about your descendant will be blessed, which means you had offspring with any people will be blessed, right? So, but another talk about is king of a people will be blessed. So what is the king of a people? Like we have a democracy, right? We have democracy, and people may not came from a noble family, may not have the bloodline, whatever, but they were voted, they were raised, they were doing the rebellion, whatever, something. So they became the king. So it's a social position. But for Abraham, his descendant, naturally God will keep eyes on them and bless them. So both king will fight each other. They will fight each other for the king, for the power, for the earth's power. So in here, God talk about your offspring, and some offspring with Sarah's, right, will fight each other. And who is Sarah's offspring? Isaac. That's directly Isaac. But why God allowed this happen? Why allow this they both are Abraham's offspring. Why God want them fight each other? As a king, you have to fight each other. You have to for survive, for domination, all the things. I think it's very interesting. Like I just do an example. Okay, I noticed like my family tree, right? 5 generations until my son. Only actually 6 generations until my son. Only one male left, and he's the only one carries the last name. So it was interesting. So many. I mean, I'm talking about so many grand uncle, great grand uncles, and great grand aunts. Those kind of. They all have kids. They all have daughters. They all have sons. But none of them eventually last to the 5th generation, or my 4th generation, 5th generation to the 6th generation. So eventually the whole family tree, only one left. Same like my mother's side, same thing. That kind of showed that it's very interestingly the last name, all the things fading. Same like Abram and Sarai. You will expect the same thing. You have to produce more and more offspring, a lot, to carry the last name, to have your offspring remember you, worship you, to keep you in the family tree. Otherwise, after, well, let's say 100 years, there's no one remember you. There is everybody just go somewhere else, and they have a different last name, and people even we even don't contact each other. So it's interestingly in here, God already foresee the future. Yeah, you have to produce a lot of offspring, and one of them will have the battle with king of the people, Sarah's offspring, and like this kind of situation will last 1,000 years, and more people need to be produced. So that's at the very far beginning. God always want us produce more and more, because it's naturally after a couple generations, nobody give them about your ancestors. Nobody give them about it. It's survive is the first things. That's what I realize from this statement. Also, I still realize God always want to preserve his gene or his DNA or the DNA directly from him. He selected, but it doesn't matter father side or mother side, because think about it. Mary, right? Mary gave birth to Jesus, so Jesus carried Mary's gene, but Jesus didn't carry Joseph's gene. So the main gene came from what? From mother side, not from father side. Yeah, very interesting. Now let's back to the important keynotes we've been emphasized all the time. It is like the whole battle. It's not just straightforward. It is between God and between the fallen angel and between the earth, abyss. So everything you have to treat it as it's an open strategy. When God claim, okay, I'm gonna make you a king, make a descendant, a king from someone, right? All parties, they are watching, and they will manipulate, they will involve, they will try to change the result. So at this moment, it's kind of like when God asks, okay, I want Abraham's descendant, right, offspring, to be king, and I want to see my test result. So what fallen angel said, okay, that's good. I want to have some else to involve it, to harass it, to interrupt it, to make the result change. Or I can do this also. I can make another nation, right? And what about the earth? That part. Earth said, okay, well, I will make you happy. But you know what? When you have the happiest moment, I'm going to let you down. I'm going to help a fallen angel. Or I will say, okay, I'm going to help God. And until certain days, I switch myself. Because basically heaven is against the earth. Earth is against heaven. They are enemies. So they studying each other. Earth want to study each other, heavens. Heaven wants to study earth, want to occupy the earth. So it's very interesting battle. They mingling together. So God needs a lot of populations. A lot of population. Within those population, through all the limitations, through all the filtering, all the elimination, eventually find a very limited number still meets the requirement. Yeah. Also, when you have a series descendant and Abraham's offspring, which means including Isaac, Ishmael, right? They are acting basically a blue team. So it's kind of God create a red team and a blue team within own company, you know. It's that's the way it runs the business. I think here when Abraham mentioned about Ishmael, I believe he's already ready to point him as his like a descendant. So because first he's old, right? Secondly, he realized Ishmael is his offspring. No matter, it's maybe not with Sarai, but it's better than what? Better than the one from Damascus, Elijah or Isaiah, whatever, someone, the one, because that one he considered is a son of a slave, right? Son of a slave is low, so you can't really. I'm not look on the sky, you know. But for Hagar, I think he considered this girl or this lady is more like a close family member, since Sarah treat her as a sister like. So I think Abram already consider Ishmael, sincerely consider Ishmael, and he even mentioned him in front of God. That's totally different. When you bring someone's name in front of God, that makes a position in front of God. If you say it, you made it a position. So Ishmael has a position, and it's a very important position in front of God. So later, God undeniably give Ishmael blessing, and Ishmael has own unique role in the Bible. What do you ask when you ask dealing with the palm reader, fortune teller, or doing those witchcraft? Okay, most people, their desire is, when I gonna marry? Will I be rich? What about my health? What about my job? Something directly impact to you, right? Do you think many people will spend like money or even spend more fortune to ask for? What about this country will have a weather condition? Or what about my neighbor, his mental status? Something like it. It's the relevant is a very, very thin. So you don't spend money, spend energy, spend your fortune to do those kind of things unless you are really bored, and unless you are bored. Yeah. So what Abraham he's care about, he cared about whether at the beginning, very far beginning, God told him whether his name will be great, right? Whether his descendant, his offspring, he will have offspring or more, and those people make a country, be a king or something, and he peacefully go to his ancestor. So that's he care about, because Abraham, he already had he had a big tribe, right? And he has enough food, and he lived all the way to 100. So in the humanly, he satisfied. There's nothing complain. So what did he care about the future things? So at this moment, God is kind of like a fortune teller. Keep telling him, you will be whatever. You guys can read the Bible yourself, although listen to my previous videos, what God told. But do you notice God changed his name from Abraham to Abraham at the edge? It's total two different people, right? So that means the promise, it's an amendment. So if you really talk about the original one, no, it's not the promise made to the original one. This is the promise made to the new one. So the original, the old one, the promise, you just dump it. You just dumped it. And it didn't say you will be great, your name will be great, whatever, because Abraham, the name is not great. Then let's change it to Abraham. Let me do it again. So that's the thing. Also, it didn't say Sarai, right? Sarai to Sarah, and the previous fortune teller never talked about that part. So I would say God as a fortune teller is not a very good fortune teller. Why? Let's talk about the fortune teller, the job of a fortune teller. You know, there are a couple ways people can predict, can kind of like foresee the future through the times, through the feng shui, through your face look, through some interesting phenomena, through your palm, through your date of birth, whatever. It has been thousands years. We do, human do have such knowledge, fragments to take a peek of the future. But as a quantum theory is like what you say, what you see, it's just one possibility. You see the possibility, you say it, you eliminate. So a lot of like a fortune teller, they not willingly to tell you exactly what will happen, because when you tell exactly, that won't happen. It's just not right. So they have to use very vague words, and kind of like fuzzy things. So when you have the situation, when you be there, the moment, when you record the words, I don't know, toggle left, toggle right, you go switch left, right, both make it right. That's what I believe. Also, another thing is people who live on the fortune teller or who doing such things, none of them will have as like a God say, a complete person, complete life. What means complete life? You have no body, you have no handicap. You know, those are handicap, right? You're not handicapped, your body. Also, you're not a widow. You have children, you have offspring, and you have your parents both live. So if people suffer from those kind of deficiency, like even your body parts you're missing, or you're blind, one eye, something, it's called a price. someone say it's a curse, but I think it's the price you need to pay to leak the information. So that's what I believe. And when you take a peek, when you be that smart, and when you have the guts to leak the information, you need to pay the price. So when God fortune telling leak the information, I would say he is paying the price. What price is? I think first thing is he compromised the result. God's heavens, they like to see it, so they allowed the fallen angel and the earth and even other gods to disturb his test. So I think that's what I believe. Well, my dog wants to broadcasting with me too. The point is, I've been taking a break for a couple of days because I've been thinking about it from the very far beginning to the end to right now. Okay, I think about it. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like a blessing and a curse. At the very far beginning, God gave a curse. He gave to Adam and Eve, right? And then he blessed them. Then he blessed the family, when the family came, Noah, Abraham, whatever. So logically, the curse is covered the whole human being, which means his will. He cursed the whole human being, and it's a set. But the blessing, it's called a subset. Logically, it's a subset. It's a subset. So God wants to use his own will against his own will. He used a blessing to overcome his own curse. Cleo, let me speak, okay? Let me finish. I'll play with you, okay? So just realize it is like God still need to follow the universal rules, and this rule is equal to everyone. It's justice or equalized, because when he curse, he has to pay the price, and he cannot change. He cannot turn over the curse, because the willing power, the will is already deployed, right? So when he used the blessing, he only can bless a subset, a small subset, very small amount. The force is large. The force is large. And when he realized after a couple generations and a couple tests and the fail, he realized his cursing and the blessing doesn't work. So he need to change it to a new method. It's called paradigm shift. He used Jesus himself, and so that domain he make a different approach. He believed that's the way he's supposed to. So look Bible. Don't just look Bible the way they taught you. Look Bible through reading, through logic, through analyze, through bird view, through the view then you will understand it more. That's my suggestion.